Today, we will review what we like to consider to be the #1 movie we would love watching for the year. It's Avengers Endgame. So what do we say about Avengers Endgame? This is like the most hyped movie of all time. Now, the thing about that is, was the hype worth it? Because those who watched the movie, you really want to question what it is. Was the hype of Avengers Endgame worth the hype? Were people excited of what they saw? Well, only one way to find out. We are going to take a look at this movie right now. And as we all start off with, the cast members, who does a good job for the movie, for all the fellas who star for the movie. Do they work or don't they? Well, first off, we have Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man again. Does he work as well as in the other movies? Surprisingly, yes, he does. He does a good job for the performance. Sure, he may have difference in here and there, but that's just it. He's perfect for Iron Man. He's the Iron Man we all know and love. He is powerful. He's nice. His new Mark suit is pretty cool. That's just what we like about Iron Man, because he's just cool. One of my favorite Marvel superheroes of all time. And then there's Chris Evans for Captain America. Captain America actually changed a lot ever since Infinity War. First off, he shaved his beard, so doesn't have a beard to have anymore, which is pretty nice. He also is able to wear his mask, and he'll hold his original shield. Now that's what I like about him. Second, he fights like a nice soldier son of a bitch, and don't we all love that? He is the Winter Soldier. Well, no, that's someone else. He is the ultimate superhero for the Avengers, who was the first to start the Avengers group and proved a lot ever since. Who else was there again? Oh yeah, there's Mark Ruffalo playing the Hulk. So yes, this time, yes, I know what you're thinking. Yes, the Hulk is back. They finally gave Bruce an upgrade and finally have him as the Hulk. The thing with that, though, is that even if he turns into the Hulk, he still acts like his original funny self. But that's fine. That's what I like about him. He was like that in Thor Ragnarok, and that's what I like about him. The problem was, though, it just felt different. But at least he's actually fighting and not in a weak Hulkbuster like in Infinity War. That was stupid of him, like, let's be honest. Anyway, he's really good. Chris Hemsworth as Thor. What can I say? He does a great job of him. I mean, at first he just looks like the basic hair got cut off guy, but actually, as a matter of fact, his hair grew after 5 years, as we actually see him the way we eventually see him, with a beard, a very interesting beard. With that being said, though, he also is able to carry his original hammer instead of just holding on to the new hammer, so he can carry both, which makes him a really powerful, incredible, awesome superhero. Then there's Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. You know, I used to have a crush on Black Widow. She used to look really, really cool with that suit on in the Avengers, Iron Man 2, Age of Ultron. The problem is nowadays she's gotten older, so she's gotten less hotter. Well, guess what they did? She decided to change her hair to the original color. Now that was smart of her, so we can see her as we saw in the other movies. It's pretty cool. And now let's go on to Don. We got Don Cheadle as War Machine. Does he do a good job? He sure does. I mean, War Machine is Iron Man's special helper who fights perfectly. He has a bunch of weapons and all, We don't. The problem is though. The problem is we don't really cheer for him as much as we cheer for the other Avengers. Seems like people just forget about him a couple times. I don't forget about him, so that's good, right? Yeah, that's pretty good. Think about. Yeah. 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 Anyway, there's also the original Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon, what can I say? He hasn't changed at all. He's the same in Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2, Infinity War, and hasn't really changed that much in Endgame. But, I mean, sure, he's got more courage, but still. He fights the same. Really, though, he fights the same. Anyway, that's just still the case how much we love him. A lot. He's funny. Genius. Cute. Really fun superhero. As we also have Karen Gillian as Nebula. Nebula started as a villain, and then became a full-fledged superhero for the battle. She was a child of Thanos, who, yes, is still Josh Brolin. Thanos seems to have less and less stuff going on than the other ones do in this movie. I mean, he was there for a while in the opening, but then we didn't see him as much during the movie. There was still a battle with him, but still, we had to wait for the battle. But that doesn't mean he's an awful guy in the movie. He's still pretty good. And now with that being said, let's get on to the newcomers. First, there's Jeremy Renner playing Hawkeye again. Yes, Hawkeye is back. This time, however, he doesn't use the bow and arrow as much. Now he uses his swords to help for the battle. And he's a real fight. He is now serious of fighting, because in the other movies he was just fighting for his help, but nowadays he's being serious of fighting ever since he lost his family. Sad. And then another newcomer is Brie Larson for Captain Marvel. I already talked about how good Brie Larson is in my review of Captain Marvel, but she's changed a little bit in this movie. First off, she has gotten bigger fights for the film, and she does appear a lot more than anyone else I could think of. So that's good to hear, right? Yeah. And then there's Paul Rudd again for Ant-Man. Ant-Man, what can I say? He fights the same. He's good, small, giant. That's basically all he does. But that's the case. Everyone in the movie is a wonderful fighter. Yes, everybody. And even if they have flaws, they all fight perfectly. Unlike Infinity War, where it was a change in each character, Bruce Banner sucked, Mantis sucked, Star Wars sucked. Oh, there are some people out there who just didn't know much. But here, all the remaining ones know much. As we lost, Bucky Barnes played by Sebastian Stan, Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, Vin Diesel as Groot, Anthony Mackie as Falcon, Dave Vasily as Drax, Palm Clute as Mantis, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and Michelle Pfeiffer as the Wasp. Those fellas were gone. Do we see them again in the movie? We'll get to that later. We'll move on to the effects. So, well, let's be honest. There are a lot of great movies out there with effects. I don't know if this movie would improve to the effect. What do you think, Doctor?
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious.
Yeah, I get it, Doctor. It's a fun quote, but seriously though, do you really think the effects would be that good? Like, honestly, oh my god! I'm just looking at clips of the movie, and dude, those effects are pure genius. Wonderful. Spectacular. Infinity War awesome. Marvel awesome. Incredible awesome. Modern awesome. The awesome we see nowadays. It's just beautiful. So yeah, the effects for the movies are wonderful. There's the effect for There's the effect for fighting and all. There's the special. They use the effects they use in the other Marvel movies, like the explosions, the fighting, the hiding, the awesome shots and all. They're all just done really well, and it actually feels like the battle's actually really happening for now. And that's just what we love about it. Any other effect? Maybe Stan Lee's cameo. Maybe he's CGI, you never know. Because Stan Lee had a cameo in the movie. It was hard to see, but his cameo was a driver with a new style that could have been hard to see for some people, but you never know. It could be CGI, considering Stan Lee's, gone. Anyway, with that being said, though, the effect for the movie, CGI or not, are still wonderful because you see fighting, explosions, all that stuff. I just think that's actually really happening. I mean, I think right now at the Avengers Tower, it's actually somewhere out there in this world, and that actually has been happening. Like, seriously, though, I mean, there have been some people I've been losing. I haven't seen in a while, so maybe they're gone. Never know. Could be happening, but still though. It's an endgame. You see what you see, and its effects are wonderful for what we have. Anything else we have to go through? Yes. We'll go through the story. So yeah, we got the story going on. The story, of course, is as Tony Stark, he's stuck in space with Nebula, and he has to escape to get with his friends again. And he sends a message to Pepper Potts, his girlfriend, as his oxygen supply starts to dwindle. And the reigning Avengers, who all are upset too, they must figure out a way to bring back their vanished allies for an epic showdown with Thanos, the evil demigod who disconnected the planet and the universe. What do? Well, they have to, what do they do first? They head to where Thanos is hiding, somewhere in Wakanda, and they try to talk to him and stop him. As Thor just gets on with the battle and chops his head off, so he's gone. And for some that might be a good thing, but in others that was a problem. They needed him to help bring balance to the Force, so Thor just chopped him off and moved on with his life for doing what he would do best. Meanwhile, the Avengers need to find another way to bring their friends back and Thanos back. What do? Well, their next thought was finding a way to time travel to go back. And what better way to time travel than going through a phantom realm? And you know what a phantom realm? Well, who are you gonna call? Scott! Yeah, that was like right in my ear. Yeah. You're gonna call Ant-Man, who was stuck in the Phantom Realm, and as people thought he was gone, but he came finally out of the Phantom Realm. So they used that Phantom Realm to help time travel so they can find a way to bring him back. As what do? They time travel through the different worlds of their stories. First, they time travel through the world of the Avengers 2012, as they see the Avengers fight. This is what I love about stuff. They just see their original selves. That's just pretty cool. And Thor is able to join too after he was just running down doing stuff with his friend Korg. He got fat, he drank beer, he just does all that stuff. When he was originally a true demigod. But that's Thor. He does whatever he wants. Yeah. Anyway, so they all go time travel and see what goes on as they see Loki with a cube, as it somehow turns out Loki found the cube, and it turns out the whole thing screwed up. As while that goes on, Captain America fights Captain America. Yeah, never thought you see it, but then you saw it. Captain America versus Captain America. So the next stop is For the Dark World. The Adventures of that weird movie where they see Thor, and Thor wants to talk to his mom before he knows that she's gonna die. Ugh. I got something my nose or something. As they then go and just find. So who do they find? Well, in the Avengers world, they find the Chosen One from Doctor Strange. before she died. Yeah. As they make it through Guardians of the Galaxy, where Nebula finds Nebula, as they also are able to spot Thanos. So they wait for Thanos, and when they find Thanos, Thanos has Gamora and Nebula with him, as they actually are able to hear what their plan is and know they have to stop it. So they join the time travel. So as they time travel through the realms, they see what happens, and then they decide to come back and see if anything worked. But turns out nothing got any better. What's their next plan? Iron Man found a way to create his own glove that has a chance he can snap the fingers and bring back their friends. So how does this work? Well, first off, he puts it on the Hulk so he can snap his fingers and bring everyone back, as everyone's there to see it. Except for Black Widow, because Black Widow and Hawkeye were talking at the top as Black Widow fell for Hawkeye and she died. Sad she died. I wouldn't be surprised, but she died. Anyway, so Thor, Hulk snaps his fingers and see what happens, and as they knew it worked, Nebula comes in, the past Nebula comes and takes down everyone with Thanos and Gamora, as they all return for a battle of the lifetime, which from the original battle, except even bigger now, because there's tons of fellas they have to take down. Luckily, they're all alive, but they're all doomed because the battle gets bigger. So they have to go. They go stop Thanos, and Thanos is one step further of fighting them hard, real hard. So Thanos looks like Thanos wins, but then we get what we all wanted to see. Black Panther came out. Doctor Strange came out. The Guardians of the Galaxy came out. Doctor Strange came out. The Winter Soldier came out. Scarlet Witch came out. Falcon came out. And even Spider-Man came out. Along with the Wasp, but let's see here too. As the battle is bigger, everything came back, as they're all able to fight for the lifetime. It's all good, and we also see some talks of what happened while they were all gone. And all those talks go by, the battle gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Bigger battle than all the other Marvel movies out there. And at the chance, it turns out Thanos looks like he won. But because he had the glove and was able to snap his fingers, but he wasn't able to get it. Iron Man got the stones, so he snapped his fingers. And all the villains get disintegrated. Even Thanos. There's going to be no way to bring him back. No way. There's also going to be no way to bring back Iron Man, because that snap kind of killed Iron Man. So, sad thing about the ending is that Iron Man is gone. He's gone. So they all have to celebrate a funeral for Iron Man. Well, you know what makes sense? Only the superheroes celebrated a funeral. Not really anybody else celebrated it, which is kind of sad for her. But yeah, Iron Man did get a funeral with all the superheroes he worked with, but no one from his world. That's okay. At least his family came. I would come too if I existed in the MCU world, but I don't. So as they all celebrate the funeral, we then finally see the fellas do their own stuff. For just feeding the grunts. And Captain America does a special thing. Gives away his shield to Falcon and tells Falcon he could be the new Captain America, which is a big foreshadow to what we're going to see in the future MCU. Is there a post-credit scene? No, there's not, but that's okay. Who needs a post-credit scene for the final Avengers movie? Avengers Endgame is incredible, awesome, genius, my favorite Marvel movie of all time. It is so good. Nothing can top it. Nothing can top it. Nothing could possibly top it. Who could possibly top it? What about Jaws? Well, who else could possibly top Jurassic Park? Who else could possibly top Ghostbusters? Anybody else? Lord of the Rings? Okay, besides Back to the Future, look, it's really Star Wars. Okay, it can't possibly top that, but it's still a great movie. If it can't top those, it can't be that great. It is great, okay? It makes the top 10. But it's not better than those. Okay, you know what? Just shut up. I love Avengers Endgame. We all do. So thanks for watching, and with that being said now, I have to go celebrate a funeral, but, man, I wish I knew where they were hiding. Wait a minute. I know. Hey, I know everything now. I know I know where he's hiding, I know what I'm gonna do, I know what movie I'm gonna review next. It's like some genie. It's like some Fresh Prince of Bel-Air genie who was replaced with the Mrs. Doubtfire genie. Grant me a unexpected wish for an unexpected live action piece of crap that nobody even expected we're gonna see with actors like